Next up, at UFC Kansas City, we have Chris Gutierrez taking on John Sexy Mexy Castaneda. This fight was supposed to happen back at UFC 313, but it was canceled a few hours before the event because Castaneda got sick. Both of them had weird circumstances going into that fight. Chris Gutierrez was on that card, but he lost his opponent. John Castaneda was supposed to fight the week before, and then there was an issue, so they bumped him a week. And we weren't going to get a true full camp kind of matchup, but now we will. And it is important to note that the odds for this matchup are very different than the odds the last time. Last time out, John Castaneda was a slight favorite at minus 120. And now here we are when they have a full camp. The market has decided, because they opened at dead even money, the market decided Chris Gutierrez is going to be the pick. I was on the other side last time. I'm on the other side this time. We got Chris Gutierrez 21-5 in his career, 3-2 in his last 5. He is alternating wins and losses, taking on John Castaneda 21-7 in his career, 3-2 in his last 5. He's coming off that one-sided loss to Daniel Marcos. Chris Gutierrez, as we all know, a very good kickboxer with phenomenal low kicks, good cage control. He's got good volume. He's landing more than 5 significant strikes per minute. He's got good enough cardio to keep a pace, and a ton of those significant strikes are straight up leg kicks. He will absolutely blast your legs while plodding forward. He's going to slow you down, and then he'll pick up the straight punches, and you kind of lost that mobility because your legs got chopped out. He's got decent takedown defense at 69%, and that does allow him to be loose on his feet and not worry about anything getting caught or having any problems. He is coming off the decision win over Quang Lee, where the striking looked very good, but the wrestling came into question. And that's what makes this fight interesting, because John Sexy Mexy Castaneda is a really fun fighter who has Division II wrestling experience. Yes, D2 is not D1, but he is still a guy with a ton of cardio who will move forward, stay in your face, alternate takedowns and striking, and just not stop coming forward. He is all about that forward pressure, good variety of strikes. He's coming off that canceled fight against Douglas Silva de Andrade. And then he moved it over to the next week. We were supposed to fight Chris Gutierrez, and then it got canceled. And now here he is. And this should be a fun fight. I broke it down months ago. I picked Castaneda then. I am picking Castaneda now. I think the only thing here is going to be, can John get the takedowns? If John can get the takedowns, I think he wins this fight. Quang Lee showed us that Chris's wrestling has a couple of holes. I do think Chris is the better striker, and certainly if he's chopping down John Castaneda's legs early, then there goes any opportunity to wrestle. So we'll see what happens. Jacob, I know you're a big fan of that fight camp, but what do you think happens in this fight?
I think back a slide. I think you're gonna know.
I did the same one twice. Fuck.
I think you're gonna know in the first 2 or 3 minutes who's going to win this fight. It's going to be whoever is able to establish the early pressure, because both these guys are completely different fighters, whether they're moving forward or whether somebody's moving them backwards. And whoever's able to get that octagon control is going to win this fight, because if Chris Gutierrez can get those leg hits going, pressure Sexy Mexy back against the cage, he kind of ducks his head at times, and he kind of gets desperate with the wrestling, tries to grab you and twist you around, and Chris can be able to hold his own in those type of positions. But if Sexy Mexy is moving forward and Gutierrez is back against the fence doing the Muay Thai with the knee and everything, that's when John can just lay on the pressure, and he is probably going to be able to shoot a nice double leg or something to get the takedown. So you're going to know in 2 or 3 minutes who's going to win this fight. I think Chris Gutierrez is going to back him up. That seems like the game plan. They seem pretty aware that they can't get backed up, and we'll see if Chris can implement the game plan.
Yeah, I think I did the same slide twice here, so I don't have the stats slide. But ultimately, I agree with you. I do think we will know in the first 10 minutes. Because if Chris Gutierrez is just
2 or 3 minutes.
I agree. I think we will know in the first 2 or 3 minutes. If Chris Gutierrez blasts this dude's legs and John can't get him against the cage, can't pressure forward, can't start shooting those takedowns, then yeah, that's nothing's changing there. Chris is going to get more comfortable as the fight goes. But if John gets in his face early, this could be an awesome live bet type situation, because I don't know what these odds are going to look like come fight night. But to Jacob's point, you might know
Chris,
real quick.
He shouldn't show much respect to Sexy Mexy's boxing. It's okay boxing, but he doesn't have crazy power.
There's no power, yeah.
Yeah, I think because sometimes he just shows people too much respect with their hands.
Yeah, there's no power. The only reason I'm on the John Castaneda side is the wrestling. So if he's coming forward with a striking game plan, it's like, oh, fuck. Like, that's not.
I got Chris Gutierrez inside the distance decisional action at plus 170. I thought those odds should have been
That's an
flip-flopped.
unbelievable bet. Jesus. I wonder what that is now.
There's a finish. I think it's going to be on the Chris side. Chris is a durable guy, and Sexy Mexi's not a crazy, dangerous KO guy or submission guy. And Chris is still a brown belt or something, so he might get out wrestled for 15 minutes. But if there's a TKO, it seems like it's going to be Chris doing it.
I 100%. I have 2 inside the distance decision no action bets on this card. That Chris Gutierrez at those numbers is unbelievable.
I honestly thought they had the odds wrong.
It must be that good because they're expecting to refund it, because that he's definitely the more dangerous of the two. Even, I mean, obviously Frankie Edgar was old, but that was one punch. The leg kicks. I mean, I think Castaneda wins just from Marab. Tons of forward pressure, a million takedowns. But if there's a finish here, it's definitely on the Chris side. So that's a very solid bet. I mentioned the market decided. This opened at -110, -110. Now we've got a slight favorite here in Chris Gutierrez. He's also the slight favorite in DraftKings Fantasy.
And it sounded like Chris was doing pretty well in camp versus Isaac Bulgarian. They're in the same camp, and Isaac was working him pretty hard this camp. It sounded like he was doing pretty well. So we'll see if it translates.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, I did not. Last time this fight was booked, I bet on John Castaneda. I did not bet him this time, even though the line's moving, because it is like, you actually convinced me last time, because you were as sure then as you are now. And then I'm like, all right, I don't need to bet it. And to your point, if Isaac Bulgarian, who is a non-stop nasty wrestler, I'm going to stick with the Castaneda side because we just saw Chris against Quang Lee, but I do have some reservations. If you do want to check out every single pick, every single bet, every single tool, they are all available right now. WeWantPicks.com. Just click become a member at the top. You'll get them for this card, UFC Des Moines next week. Then you'll get UFC 315, and then you'll get the fight night with Gilbert Burns and Michael Morales. Everybody who is going to this is also going to Des Moines. That's your part of the world. How close are these places? Is Kansas City and Des Moines kind of near each other?
Are you asking me? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Isn't that Midwest? Doesn't that qualify as Midwest?
It's probably the Midwest, yeah.
Yeah. I just like almost every single person's like, I'm going to both. It's like, I don't know what a map looks like. A couple of super chats. Dewari explained his previous super chat. $10. He said it was a Shannon Sharp reference. He goes all Dr. Seuss with the rhymes, with random things, and then he ends with his pick, Lakers in 5. Thank you for the $10. Shannon Sharp is fighting for his life right now. Did you see all that today?
I did, yeah.
Did you hear the audio?
Yeah.
That was not to, and I have daughters. That felt like the most set up thing in the world. First of all, why are you recording a random phone call? Second of all, she's using words like, stop, don't intimidate me. It's like, why are you, that word didn't flow normal in that conversation. He didn't help himself when he was like, I'm going to come down there and beat your face in, or whatever he said. It's like, ooh, yikes. All right. That's not great. Kevin said, Angelo, are you wearing Young LA shorts as well? No, I am not. I'm wearing this shirt. I traveled all day. This is an unbelievably comfortable shirt. And I am wearing sweatpants shorts, not from Young LA.